warriors, and welcome to this week. I am so glad that you clicked on this episode. Yay. Why am I excited? Because I know how much better you can feel when we get rid of the extra clutter in our lives. Okay, study after study show us that external clutter creates internal overwhelm, clutter in our heads. What's going on around us affects what's going on inside of us. It's quite simple, actually. The less we own, the less we think about. The less we own, the less we need to clean. The less we own, the less we need to organize. The less we own, the less we need to upkeep. The less we own, the less decisions we make. Okay? Essentially, the less it weighs on our mind, the less clothes, the less tablecloths, the fewer kitchen gadgets we have, the less we need to think about which ones to use, the less we need to store. Okay? The reverse is also true. The more you have, the more decisions you need to make. Okay, which soup ladle do I need to use? Unnecessary decision. One thing I know about the brain is that there is something very real called decision fatigue. Okay? I want you to use your brain power towards making helpful, important decisions, not inane, time-sucking ones. Like, do I wear the blue, green, pink, or red sweater today? Okay, green. Well, then which green one? The cardigan, the cable, the roughly sleeved, the one with the stain? It may seem trivial, but it's not. We wake up with a limited amount of mental energy and a certain number of decisions that our brain is able to make each day. If we use our decision-making power on our sweaters, it's not available for bigger decisions during the day. Minimize the decisions you need to make on routine things by minimizing the things you have. Let's look at how. First, I want you to print up my free declutter challenge sheet that I made for you to commit to decluttering. Okay. Studies show that when we track our progress, guess what? We have more progress. Imagine that. I made a sheet for you to track your progress, to give yourself that daily high five. Better yet, if you're listening to this live time and you identify as a woman over 40, join the Warrior Midlife membership group. Okay. Because we're clearing out clutter all month together. We'll be tracking, if you track your progress and you do it with others, surefire path to growth. So get your free sheet at smbwell.com/declutter. I'll put the links in the comments, and links to the membership to join are smbwell.com/membership, membership. If you were driving or exercising or something, just remember smbwell.com/190. This is episode 190. You'll find all the links there. Okay. For now, let's go. I want to look at 4 areas in our house that cause us stress and clutter. I suggest you choosing an area and do it each week. Okay, with that sheet that I handed out. If you do, I double pinky promise you that you will enter next month feeling lighter and more energized. So let's go. Area 1, your bedroom closet and dresser, wherever you keep your clothes. Which of your clothes do you actually wear? I want you to look at. Okay, which are you saving or holding on to? Okay, people generally save things for 2 reasons: future or guilt. Okay, first, let's look at the future. If you hear yourself saying maybe one day or what if, that means you're saving it for the future. And in my rule, that means it goes in the bag for goodwill. Okay, if you're saving it for, when I lose those 10 pounds. Okay, when you lose those 10 pounds, you'll want to wear something else. And looking at it every day in your closet reminds you of a goal you haven't achieved. Not good for achieving goals. Okay, if you're saving it because maybe one day you'll get invited to that garden formal event where this dress would be perfect, again, goodwill bag. Okay, if or when you do get invited, don't you usually go get something different? All right, let's get rid of it. One thing that I know people do here is that they put their hangers all facing one way. And then when they use it, say you wear your white shirt that day, you flip your hanger around in the closet and then after a month or 6 months, you look at all the hangers that haven't been turned around, goodwill. Okay, easy peasy. All right. Second reason we hold on to things, guilt. So many of us save things because someone gave it to us or it cost a lot. Okay, if you're saving something like, say, a sweater that your Aunt Molly gave you, and what would she think if you got rid of it? Ask yourself, when's the last time Molly has looked in your closet? Okay, if it's eating up mental space in your world, get rid of it. If you're saving it because your dear, sweet, long past grandma gave it to you, take a picture of it, feel warm and cozy for her gesture, and get rid of it. All right. If you're saving something because you spent a really big amount on it and you've only worn it once or not at all, get rid of it. Get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. Okay. Looking at it reminds you of a poor decision you made. It's not necessary to continue to beat yourself up. Okay. And someone else will love it. You live, you learn. Maybe you don't make that impulsive decision next time. Donate. Okay. Another reason to be in the Midlife Warrior membership is that if you paid something extra for it, we'll be doing some chats in there with how to make money from your stuff. Okay, different organizations or different places you can give it to where you get the money. But for now, put it in a bag. Let's move on to area number 2, the kitchen. Aha, the kitchen. Okay, this is a great area for clutter. How many can openers do you need? For real, do you ever use 2 at once? Is it even possible to? Like use 2 can openers at once? Yet, do you have 2 can openers? How many serving spoons? Okay, how many soup ladles we mentioned earlier? Getting a divorce was one of the best things that could have ever happened for me and my clutter. Okay, when I left my marital home, I was able to take very little with me. And so when purchasing for my new home, I did not buy 12 serving spoons to replace the 12 that I left with my ex. Instead, I bought one serving spoon, 1 spatula, 1 cookie tray, 1 set of tongs. When I needed more, I would either buy more or figure out how to make do with just 1. Okay? Look around your kitchen. How many cookbooks do you really need? When I want to make something new, I usually open Google, not a cookbook. How often do you really use that mini bundt loaf pan? What's on your countertop? What do you use weekly? Keep it on the countertop. If you don't use it weekly, put it away. Okay. Clutter on your countertop clutters your brain. Okay. I say, like, when in doubt, get it, throw it out. Okay. Just move forward. If you have 3 garlic presses, get rid of 2. All right. Choose your favorite, pass on the rest. If one breaks, what will you do? Amazon, Target. Unless you're listening to this in the Arctic Circle, you will not go too long without a garlic press. And you know what? Now that I mentioned garlic press, I don't have one. Okay. Yet we use garlic almost. My husband is an amazing cook. He uses garlic all the time. All right. I don't know what he does. I think he chops it up. So there are some things we just don't need either. Moving on. Won't make this a debate about garlic presses. If you have a garlic press, great. How about 1? Next area we're going to look at, living spaces. The third area to look at, living spaces. Look around at your dining room, your living room, your home office, your family room. Okay, what do you have on your tables, your bookshelves, your cabinets? What brings you joy? And what is something that just accumulates dust? Okay, again, back to the reasons why we hold on to things. The future or guilt? Where is this showing up in your living spaces? Are you holding on to serving trays for that special future event or that once a year big dinner, but when the big dinner comes around, you actually aren't serving something that would go on that tray? How about you choose to use it more frequently, like now, if you enjoy it, like not saving it for a special day. Every day can be special for you, or get rid of it, pass it on. External clutter creates internal clutter. Do you have a pitcher or a vase sitting on your shelf because your mother-in-law gave it to you? Okay. Does your mother-in-law live with you? If so, that's another discussion. But if not, you're an adult now. There's no need to be a people pleaser with the things you have out or the things you keep. That's where the thought model can come in. Maybe it makes her happy when she comes over to your house and sees that picture there. But if it makes you pissy every single day when you see it, get rid of it, girl. Okay. She can have the picture in her house. She wants to get it. She can get her own. Okay. Choose to have your surroundings reflect you and your family. No need to be a people pleaser here. You're an adult. When in doubt, throw it out or donate it. Okay. 4th area we're going to look at, closets and any storage areas like your attic or the basement. Okay. What are you saving just in case, or maybe one day? All right. I tell you, I have been working on clutter for a long time. I do this quite frequently and still things sneak in. I'm on this journey with you. Okay. In prepping for this episode, actually, I've been more aware, and I look around the house. I'm like, well, why is that there? And what is this? And I walk by this shelf with a game on it most every day. It's down by my laundry room. And I see this game. And I once bought the game impulsively, thinking we'd sit around and play it as a family. Someone told me their family loved it. And so I think I had some of that like FOMO, like, oh, okay, well, my family should love it. So I bought it and imagined us sitting around as a family playing it. And we did once several years ago. And so now it sits on my shelf. And every time I pass it, I feel some regret or buyer's remorse. You know what? And when I'm prepping for this episode, I picked it up and I put it in my donate pile. I'm choosing to use my brain for something else, to feel regret for things worthy of change, to use my brain power for more energizing things. What do you walk by and feel that ping from? Do yourself a favor and move it today. Okay. Get back to that, like my clear the clutter tool, that when you hear yourself saying, what if, or maybe someday, I know it's time to toss it in the donation bag. Are you saving a tablecloth because maybe one day you'll suddenly like purple? Or do you have that thing that used to be great grandma Stella's? Okay, that tablecloth from her, or all the placemats? For goodness sakes, you know what? It's possible your great grandma Stella didn't like it. She didn't like the tablecloth. And that's why she passed it on to you. Okay, because she felt too guilty. She's like, oh, I'm going to give this to Susie, and ended up in your cabinet. Please don't pass this along to clutter future generations. Okay, I hear people also doing the sneaky, like, oh, I'll save it for my kids. Don't. You can ask them if they want it now. If they're not going to take it, if you have adult kids and they're not taking it to their house, get rid of it. Stop the cycle today. Donate. Your trash will be someone else's treasure. Okay, do you have 3 jars of black beans in your pantry? Because what if I make that recipe again? Okay, how about that picture you bought impulsively on that beach trip, but now you don't get rid of it because you think of how much money you spent on it and you feel regret? Pass it along. Okay, next week we'll dive into tools to help us limit our impulse shopping. But for today, guys, life is too short. If it sparks guilt or regret for you when you look at it, get rid of it. Stop having it there to look at. Okay, don't get me started on shoes, belts, bags, storing clothes for other seasons. How many pairs of black boots do you need? Okay, you don't need more than 1 can opener, set of measuring spoons, things like that. We've looked mixing electric mixers. Choose your favorites and pass the rest along. Okay, all the extra things we hold on to create physical clutter, which create mental clutter. The less we have to wash, clean, organize, put away, the better for all of us. So like anything in my group and in the stuff that I work on, just start somewhere today, start small, print up that sheet at smbwell.com/190, set a timer for 10 minutes each day this week and give yourself a check on that sheet. Okay, join the membership if you're a woman over the age of 40. Let us know, how it's going, what's hard to give away. What excuses does your brain come up with to hold on to something that you don't use? Hey, we're here for you. You are not alone in this journey. And I want to say that this is one way that we can lower the overwhelm and emotional fatigue, emotional drain we have in our lives. The less items we have, the less we need to spend, the less we need to buy, the less we need to clean, the less we need to feel guilty about not wearing or not using. When in doubt, throw it out. Let's go, warriors.